We are honored to be joined by Dr. Ameyao, President and CEO of the International Center for Evaluation as well as Development, that is ICED, a respected global leader in matters development, research and policy. Dr. Ari has played a critical role in shaping Africa's Agenda 2063, a conversation that is on in terms of making sure that we have sustainable development goals in Africa. So tonight, we get to explore the challenges, the opportunities, as well as the pathways that, of course, would be driven by evidence, research, or perhaps evidence-based conversations and development. And so we get to this conversation shortly, just getting to understand what it will take for Africa to achieve sustainable development for its people. Thank you so much for creating time.
Thank you.
In Kenya, we're talking about the bottom-up approach, economic transformation agenda. Yes. Have you interacted with what this is all about, and do you suppose that this is the way to go?
Sure. Anything, even the name bottom-up, means citizens' involvement, giving citizens opportunity to involve in what really takes to shape their life and livelihood. Yeah. And when you look at the BETA, the bottom-up economy, you are thinking about, employment creation, reducing cost of living, being able to generate employment, both for youth. And the government have set about 4 main agendas in agriculture, macroeconomy, small and macro enterprises. We talk about, housing and settlement. You talk about also information, superhighway, and all those things. Yes, these are opportunities, especially for youth. Right. If you look at a country like Kenya, where about 70% of the productive age are young people. These are areas that, can really, really help the economy to grow. So it's a very good initiative. All
right, and of course, questions linger as to whether we have tapped enough into the capability of this youth. You have had, decades of experience in development, across the continent and actually beyond. How would you describe the current trajectory in terms of getting Africa's development landscape?
When you look at Agenda 2063, it's a very noble idea. The challenge we have in Africa, a journey we are taking, is not a journey that other parts of the world have not taken it before. Right. They have gone through it. If you look at the Western countries, they went through it. Asia countries have gone through it. The biggest challenge we have is, have we learned from it? Have we sit back and said, where are the evidence? Have we studied? We have something called evidence pyramid. Evidence pyramid says that in every sphere, you have data that are collected.
Right.
Data are transformed into studies. And you cannot take 1 or 2 studies and make a decision out of it. And that is the challenge that this continent is having. We haven't reached a stage where we will bring a lot of studies together, do a systematic review, see what works, what doesn't work. Because, if you take about agricultural revolution, Asia have gone through it. So for us to really, really have inclusive agriculture transformation, we should be able to let our agricultural researchers sit down and say, study it. What works? What didn't work, so that we don't repeat the same mistake.
Right.
Because we have an advantage to learn from what has happened. Right. And that is something that we are not doing on this continent. And that is what International Center for Evaluation and other evidence to action groups are now promoting, so that our policies and practices will be based on strong evidence.
All right. Doctor, I am curious to understand just how hands-on Africans are in the processes of research, because they say that he who pays the piper then calls the tune. And a majority of our research programs are funded by the West. Yes. So then they come in and perhaps they drive the agenda. Just how hands-on are Africans, on this question? Allow us to take a quick short break as you ponder on the same, and then we come back to you.
Yes. UNICEF did a study.
Right.
And you will see that Africa holds about 14% of the world population. But do you know that published research from Africa is 0.07%?
Unfortunately.
So how can you, 14% of the world population, you have your researchers publishing 0.7% of research?
Big question.
That is a big question.
We come back.
We'll come back and we'll take it from
after
there.
this
Thank
break.
you. Good.